Hi, I'm Carlin. Thanks for checking out my video to my electric bike project that I'm naming Turtle. I live about 15 miles from the nearest town, where the post office, gas station, and civilized people live. In April, I sold my truck, leaving a broken down motorcycle and a couple of bicycles. What you're about to see is my attempt at building an off-grid DIY survival quadricycle, a pedal-powered microcar with electric solar assist. I did a little research, but my way is most likely not the best way to do this. Once a week, I ride a bicycle into town to check mail and packages. I like bike riding, so I'm kind of looking forward to trying this out. That's the plan anyway. Stay tuned and be sure to subscribe if you're interested.
Holy crap.
Hello and welcome to the new DIY Delta Trike project that I'm calling Recon. This is a work in progress. My goal is to make a Delta-style recumbent trike. That means there's one wheel in the front and two wheels in the back. Recumbent just means that you're leaning back instead of sitting upright. seat posts, same size. The wire isn't long enough to reach the handlebars for the throttle. There are no brakes of any kind at the moment. I have no brake switch, which would normally be how I would stop the motor. If you just touch the brake, the motor stops going. One of the bike batteries, this is the battery I've been using for going to town. So it's charged and ready to go. Nothing really super tied down. I put a couple of clamps down to hold the wires in place so they don't hit the frame. Okay, I already tested it. I know it works. I do have one master switch. That's on. Put the camera down at a safe distance. I am still on jack stands, or at least one. So it's like, it's getting really hot out here. I just didn't want to go any further today, but I realized I was close. So I thought, well, okay, let's put the chain on, and you know, then you can't stop once you get to that point. So yeah.
Yeehaw!
Alright, just on the off chance that this actually is going to work, sound and wind and whatnot, I took it down Wells Fargo and back because it's relatively smooth and straight. And coming back, I went full throttle most of the way up the hill. It's not a very steep hill, but I mean, it was pretty fast. Well, it's really hard to gauge speed when you're sitting that low. But at full throttle, it felt like I had decent control, so that helps. Yeah, it worked. Yay! Nothing broke, didn't die. It's like I don't have a freewheel, right? But when it's coasting, it doesn't really drag too much. So when you let off the throttle, it doesn't stop really quickly. It does coast pretty good. I think I'm going to get brakes working and a few other things before I do any long rides, and pedaling. We got to get pedaling working. I'm not sure if I love the steering yet. I don't think I got these quite the same length. So when I turn this way, eventually that wheel goes 90, and if I got any speed at all, it'll just crank it. And I had the arm completely over on this side. It went all the way across, right? Over center, basically. So that's no good. And then turning this way, that's about as far as I can turn. Again, it's not too bad. You could probably live with that. It's also really easy if I am stopped to just put my feet down and I can push myself back, and so I could do a 3-point turn. I did a couple of those today already. So that works such as it is. If I was going to keep this setup, I should probably do a steering lock so it just doesn't go too far, because it'll go completely over. The other thing I considered when I set this up, instead of a rod, if I did, like I could use a bicycle chain. If I put a sprocket up here and a sprocket back here and did a continuous chain, then I could actually turn the handlebars full 360 if I wanted to, and then I could turn the front wheel around, which I don't really need unless I put the motor back on the front again. If I had a front motor, I could turn the wheels 90 degrees, hit the throttle, and it would just turn around in its own length, which would be kind of fun and useful once in a while. It's not a big deal. The difference between this project and earlier projects, I'm able to ride this. I think this is probably the 7th or 8th day I was working on this, and I'm already riding it. I had so much time involved on the last ones before I could even ride them, before I even knew if I liked them or not. So this way I can run it up and down the driveway a couple times, especially, you know, as I go faster, I can get an idea, what does it actually feel like? You know, is it something I want to pursue or not? Is my seating position pretty close? Right now the chain is tracking pretty good, and it's a little bit loose, but it's not too bad. I guess that's the way to say it. I'm considering doing disc brakes on both rear wheels. This way I got a chance to test riding and steering pretty quickly, so I think that was the biggest reason I went ahead with that. You don't need to have everything 100% done before you start testing, I guess. So this way I can, check, okay, so far it rides okay, and the steering is good enough for now. I'll probably tweak it. I might replace these handlebars. They were just, ones that I grabbed that were close by. Kind of fun to play with. Alright, now we got to pick everything up because it's hot out here and I'm done for the day. Very cool to go for a ride though. Okay, without trying too hard, I am able to fit this in here. It's 9 feet long and the Tinker Shop is only 12 by 12. But what I realized is the front is pretty narrow, like a bike, so I could extend that in through the doorway and get it in pretty good. Up until now, I've been leaving this outside, But with the electrics on it, the issue is that the mice will just chew up all the wires. I've got a bunch of extension cords and stuff that the mice have just chewed up, so I don't think I've had any wires get chewed on the solar panels. And I know they can crawl up wood, so I know they could get up there if they wanted to. You could say, yeah, your vehicle parks outside, but I had mice chew up stuff on the truck and crawl into the heater box and die, so I don't have good experience with mice out here. For now, short term, it's going to be parked inside. One thing I'm looking at, if I figure the size of this, I've seen that done before where you just hang your bikes from the ceiling. I might actually make a little hoist, actually. I mean, it wouldn't need very much. I've got carabiners and a couple little pulley blocks, so if I put the black bike against the wall like the blue bike, then I could park the Delta on the floor and just push it over, because it's not that big of a deal to pick it up by the back and move it over and then pull a bike out and then put it back again. Alright, that's it for now. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you got some useful ideas there. I've not been talking about this very much lately, but my main source of income has been these YouTube videos. The actual money I make from the ads is quite small. What actually keeps me going is a few people that are helping me out over on Patreon or YouTube members. Just a few bucks every month would sure make a huge difference. So if you get anything out of my content, there's a link down below, or I'll put it up on screen. You can help me out through Patreon, which is a monthly subscription. You can also do YouTube members, or you can just throw me a buck on PayPal once in a while. It all helps. Thank you very much. Bye for now.